Oh, we are headed to the barn. Addie's not very happy today. She's not very happy at all. She doesn't want to let me do my videos. But that's life. It's a beautiful day here for another 3 hours. In 3 hours, it is going to rain for 24 hours. So I suspect Monday will be a washout at the barn. But it looks like Tuesday's going to be good. And Wednesday and so on next weekend, plus 23 and sun. It is going to be a beautiful, beautiful weekend, and an even better weekend for the people in Ohio. They're going to be back racing. Great news out of Ohio this week. Scioto Downs opens on the 22nd. Northfield opens on the 26th. They qualified hundreds of horses in Ohio yesterday. I would have argued that was unnecessary, but I'm sure people have their good reasons for it. I think here in Ontario they're going to push the qualifying date back to 90 days or so, which would make things very good for us here in Ontario. I think it's kind of needless. You know, it's kind of an odd time where we literally couldn't race. And you know, my argument, and I would think the biggest reason you would want qualifiers is so the gamblers could see a line. My take on that is two things. One, this day and age, I would expect everybody to bring their horses prepared and ready to go. Secondly, if they didn't want to wager on the product, then wager on it the second week. Don't wager on it the first. I think most people would say, would maybe throw caution to the wind or look for other means to find out how the horses are, and would wager on horse racing. The same, if not very close, from week 1 to week 2 and beyond. But what do I know? I'm not an analyst, and I certainly don't know that. I'm going to talk about what I do know, and that's how good the horses trained yesterday. I've been saying that a lot lately, but man, oh man, to see the horses, and I love when you see these horses progress, right? I love to see Eternity Road. He trained good yesterday. Somebody said, oh, he made a couple of breaks. Well, technically, the second break was after the 1.5 miles in the turn. Yeah, he struggles with that, and we can work with him. We'll work with him on that turn. The first break, it's pretty clear to see what happened. He wears a tie down really tight and a cord over his nose. It was just too loose yesterday. You could see going into the turn, he was throwing his head, then finally gave his head one jerk, threw it up in the air, threw himself off balance and made a little break, and he was flawless afterwards until they got into that turn, until they got into that turn afterwards. But it'd been great overall. I think the fastest horse so far has been Desperado. He won a mile 2:10 in the jog cart yesterday, over the 1/2 mile track at a 1.5 mile distance. And it was funny, I was explaining just a few minutes ago, you look at a horse like Desperado, he was underwhelming all throughout his training. You look back at the January and February videos of Desperado, he's an afterthought. Right? Yeah, he's going okay. Yeah, he's going okay. Yeah, he's going okay. Because he was just doing his work. Barely. Nobody ever talked about him. And even, he's the type of horse where he won't do it unless he has to, or unless he's in the right frame of mind. And I think that's why I got along good with him, is because I didn't let him back out of top gear. I had him on his toes the whole time. And Mario said, even you look at the progression over the last 2 weeks. 2 weeks ago, Mario said, yeah, he's a nice horse. He's like, you're a kind of horse where you got to keep wound up and keep him going. He's a nice horse. But he was guarded in saying that, right? What he meant was, yeah, he's okay. He went with him yesterday, 2:10 last half and 1-1 a bit last quarter, and at least 30 seconds or faster. And he pulled up and he said to me, he goes, you're going to have a lot of fun with this horse this summer. And he's right. I think we will. Desperado's just got a great attitude, a great gait, and he's quick on his feet. And now he's starting to get durable and strong. You know, it wasn't that long ago, a month ago, James said, you can't move him multiple times. So I did. The very next time I sat behind him, and he obliterated them. And he's getting better and better and better, and this speed we're putting into him, he's absorbing it and really packing on some muscle. He's starting to look like a nice horse. What's so funny about that? What?
I was just reading something.
Oh, Amy's reading Facebook. Don't worry about it. It's not a big deal. She just reads Facebook all the time. So, what do you do? What do you want me to say? So, we'll go over the horses. I did a 30-minute opening just talking about how the sets were yesterday, how they went. It was very, very impressive. Some of the horses, obviously a standout, maybe two standouts. One that I've been telling you guys about, but you never really got to see her go until yesterday. And it goes a long way. Two things. One, a little side note, I appreciate everything you guys have done for Danny and Aaron. I think Amy said the GoFundMe account for those two people are up around $7,000. I said to Jason, Jason broke his foot yesterday. Horse jumped on his foot yesterday and broke his foot. I told him he was trying to milk that GoFundMe account. He's not getting it. Oh, sorry, you did. But he's not getting into it. He'll be fine. But Danny and Aaron, thank you so much for helping out. We're at 7,000. I would like to get to 10. As I said to Aaron and Danny, I would like to give Danny maybe 4,000 and Aaron 6, just because Aaron has lost a lot of revenue because she fed for us at night. Now we've been doing it all. So, they're doing the track again. We're literally just getting to the farm and the grader's going back on the track again, so that's good. So the training was good yesterday, but as I said, a real feather in the cap of Danny O'Brien and how hard he's worked on the horses. When you look at 3 horses that I thought really, really stood out yesterday, one was Northern Blizzard. The other one was Ava and Ollie. Now, one was Northern Blizzard. One was Rose Run. Why Not? And James said that. Ava. Yeah. James said that Beef and Cheddar. He called him quote unquote freak speed. Just 1 second. All good, Aaron?
Good. How are you?
Good. You get a chance?
What are you up to?
Just getting here.
This side's finished. I got that beautiful ditching job somewhat corrected.
Good.
This side's done. The other side, he needs another good day in here because the problem is the ditches are so low on the other side.
Yeah.
I'm almost going to have to bring the top down to put in the ditch.
Okay.
All I did today was I got this side done and I made I was going to say half, whatever.
Yeah, half, yeah.
Yeah. To get some of that waterway because it's like a lake on the side of the track.
Yeah.
And then we'll have to address it after the rain, but...
That's fine.
Your patience with me.
No problem.
So, what's the family up to today?
Just coming here, got to look at a few horses, and then I was gonna jog one actually, but I might not now.
This guy's dragging the track. I think he thinks he's Richard Petty or something.
Yeah.
He must have been doing 60 miles an hour.
I told him today. I told him the other day too. I wanted him to cut it open, but did you tell him to drag it?
Well, I told him to run the screen over quick because it's gonna rain. And
yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
Usually when you grade the track, you should condition it to make it constant because it cuts the hills, but they take the screen and just.
Yeah.
It's a big work project for Harvey.
Yes. Well, good thing we got Harvey. Thank you.
See you later.
So that was the gentleman that's fixing the track, grading the track. He graded it the other day, fixed the turns, he's fixing the straightaways, fixing the ditching. You guys have no idea, we're here in Canada. For those of you who don't see a lot of snow, when you get that deep frost and it comes out, the waves in this track, it needs fixing in the spring. It needs setting up in the fall, and they did set it up in the fall, and now we're getting to getting it fixed right now, and then we'll put stone on it. But it'll be a great track for the summer, that's for sure.
Look at all the dandelion.
Yeah, there's tons. So as I was saying, thank you very much for helping out with Danny and Aaron. And we will hopefully get to 10,000, get that money out to them, and help them out. Danny and Aaron likely will be back within the next 4 weeks. Well, Aaron likely will for sure. Danny, Danny's a great guy, and he takes his job seriously. But as I said to him, take your time, right? This isn't something you want to rush and get yourself hurt. So hopefully he'll heed the advice of somebody who also broke a bone and was told to take his time. Maybe not in the same way. Anyway, so the training went well yesterday. Back to racing in Ohio on the 22nd in Scioto, the 26th in Northfield. The New York tracks got an okay to open up on June 1st, which was incredible. June 1st, they got an okay to open up. Prince Edward Island on the 4th, of course. And the Toronto tracks. I say that gingerly. Ava, stop. The Ontario tracks. I say that gingerly because we know Mohawk is opening up on the 5th. But when do the B tracks open up? Yeah, hopefully it's around the same time. Also, that would be good. So we have that. Easy, Addie Bear. Come here. What else do we have? Pennsylvania. This Governor Wolf, I said the other day, is a bit of a goofball. I don't know why he's dragging his feet so much, but it's a bit frustrating. And I know that there's going to be a lot of tension in Pennsylvania over the next week. You got every track virtually in North America opening up or getting ready to open up, putting soft dates in place, hopefully turning those into hard dates. And you got this goofball in Pennsylvania who just can't seem to do anything at least nice for horse racing, right? This is a guy that not once but twice threatened to take the slots program away. Did it like 3-4 years ago, the week of the Harrisburg sale. So the week of the biggest sale in Pennsylvania for standardbred horses. And this guy announces that he's going to be looking into the slots program. So you know what happened at the sale. It wasn't a great year for sellers. So no friend to horse racing, but at the same time, there's a lot of people that are involved in the horse racing industry, both directly and indirectly in Pennsylvania. And you can be sure that Governor Wolf will be taking a long look at the horse racing file this week. That's for sure. What else? It was funny yesterday. If you guys watch towards the end of the mile and Beef and Cheddar's set, James's hat flies off. And I know everybody's saying, why didn't you have helmets on? We usually do. My helmet was covered in mud from the day before. I didn't take it off, so I had my hat on. My trusty work hat here, and James had his hat on. His hat flew off. So my head looks like a skunk and a raccoon hit a love child, and it's laying on my head. But obviously I like to make fun of James. James got a little gray hair on the side too, and the hat went flying off. I said, oh look, it's snowing. And he wasn't very happy. But that we're all in that boat, aren't we? Very few people can get to a hairstylist or a barber. They're all closed everywhere. I think they're open in some places now, but not for us. That leads into the next biggest problem I have is the border opening. You have quarantine time still on both sides of the border right now. Some people asked, are you going to Ohio this week? No. Technically, our first stake races will be Emerald Miss and Excellent Nation on the 5th and 6th, I believe. I'm thinking what we're going to do is send those horses down to Virgil for that week, because Globetrotting spend that money and all those horses are going to race on the 19th. Now, for those of you concerned if we can get across the border, yes, we can get across the border. We're doing business in the United States of America. I can get across the border. Jason Kirby can get across the border. But technically we have to quarantine on the other side. Now, they have rules set up for Ohio racing where if out-of-state drivers or trainers come in, drivers have to stay in a separate driver's room, social distance, and then virtually leave the second the race is over, which is fine by me. The problem then is coming back to Canada. Now, the border is supposed to open on the 21st. I assume the quarantine is off. At that point, you can't have people going across the border, coming back, and then being asked to quarantine. So I would suggest on the 21st of June, the quarantine restrictions will be lifted. Now, they won't be gone. Obviously, if you're sick, stay home, take your temperature, things of that nature. But for the people that don't appear to be sick, I would imagine the quarantine dates are somewhat off. At that point, I can go back and forth a little bit. I don't want to be running the roads the same as I did last year. And it appears that our Ohio breds are going to Northfield Park. Jason had told me the other day, now I haven't confirmed it with Virgil, but Jason had told me the other day that Virgil had a large stable moving there. I can't blame Virgil Morgan for giving the stalls up if he did. And at the same time, I don't know how the qualifiers are going to go here. And with young horses, we need places to race. Scioto is great for mid-condition horses and claimers, but their maidens are tough. Non-winners of 2 are tough. I think we raced Sometimes Things Happen because he had a win. We raced him. He had to win the non-winners of 2, and they went like 56 or something. And that's way too much for that horse. So you need a place where you can race your babies, and Northfield Park's a better spot for that. So what I may do is Amy and I and the kids might go and rent like an Airbnb house or something for the summer. I'm thinking, now assuming Pennsylvania gets back on track, I'm thinking somewhere in between the triangle of the Meadows, Northfield, and Scioto would be perfect for us. But again, that's all fluid. Nobody really knows. If Justin Trudeau pushes the border date back again, then I can get across, but Amy can't. And nor would I want her to, I don't think. So, and then I can't come back to Ontario unless we have 14 days where I can quarantine, because you can be sure nobody is going to want, I'll be a leper when I come back to Ontario. For the first little bit, people are not going to be, hey, Anthony, come on over, let me shake your hand. It'll be, you stay over there, I'll stay over here. Better yet, you don't come to Mohawk. So, as closer we get to racing, the more hurdles I encounter. The border being one, but let's be honest. Let's focus on job number one, and that's back to racing. So Ohio is opening up. We will be sending our 3-year-olds down. I believe the first 2 to leave will be Emerald Miss and Excellent Nation. Now the problem is they both have to qualify, right? Because although we moved our qualifying dates back, Ohio did not. So we may just put them in to go. Might put Emerald Miss right in to go. These horses are ready to go right now. I mean, you could train them in 2 minutes over this farm track right now. They're tight. So Excellent Nation and Emerald Miss are ready to go right now, and I hope we get a chance just to put them in to go and get them racing, and that way we don't have to qualify them. We'll have them ready for June the 5th. Now, as I said, Globetrotting's got to qualify. She trained yesterday. If you guys are watching the broadcast, she trained in 2-1 last half in 58 right here at Tamiko. Still a little bumpy in spots, but if you noticed last year, she was too. This isn't new. I mean, she was always fast, but you had to watch her sometimes. That's why she wore the hobbles. So Globetrotting is getting stronger, getting better, getting smoother. Canadian Titan and a Knockdown Dragout were awesome yesterday also. They only went in 2-6 last half, 59, but were very, very good in their own right. And then Johan was very good yesterday. Ailson was a little ornery, but Johan was very good. 2-6 again last quarter, 29 last half, 59. He was very, very good. So we have a lot going on, a lot of horses getting close to being ready. I would think every 2-year-old we trained yesterday will qualify on the 12th of June. I don't know the exact number. We did have some horses that got hurt and have time off, but I would suspect if we had, let's say we had 60, I think we have 63, but if we had 60 right now, 55 of them will be ready to qualify easily on June the 12th if everything moves forward the way it has been so far. So that's good. What else? We got racing, training. Well, maybe that's it. So yesterday, we had a great day training yesterday. We have had a busy week all over, as you saw. I just talked to the operator of the grader. He's going to be finishing the track off, it looks like, Tuesday. And then we will have material put on it Wednesday. Probably a really light training day on Wednesday for our horses. And then back on Saturday. James had asked me last night, are they going in the race bike next week? I think they might. So we might have to sneak over to Mohawk. And that's the other thing, is that I believe Mohawk is going to give us a training day. So if they give us next Sunday, we likely won't be training in the race bike on Saturday here. We'll take them over to, that's the 3-year-old. So depending on what Mohawk says, we have 119 horses or something that are, for the most part, ready to go raceway miles right now. How many horses are they going to let us train at Mohawk? What days are those going to be? I'm not sure. Our 2-year-olds, you saw them behind the gate. That doesn't bother them. They've all been pretty fast. I mean, between 2:10 with Desperado and 2:18 with Won My Heart Hanover, I think every horse paced or trotted in that range yesterday. That's at 1.5 miles on a half-mile track in a jog cart. Snap them in a bike at Mohawk. 2.3, 2.4 right now would be no problem whatsoever for them. So here we are. We're at May 18th, something like that, and our horses are ready to. Our 2-year-olds are ready to go, probably a mile and, as I said, 2.3, 2.4 right now. If we put them in the race bike at Campbellville, Tamiko next week, it will likely be 2.7 for every 2-year-old, ish. But all the 3-year-olds are ready to go. You can see the way they're training. Some of them are even bored for the most part, and it's hard to keep them in the right frame of mind. They know what racing is, they know what training is, and they're not racing right now. So it'll be nice to get them over to Mohawk. I'd like to go 1 mile and 56 with the Pacers, 1 mile and 58 with the Trotters, and have all 56 of them or 55 of them ready to go. So that's our plan. That's our pledge right now for our clients of the stable.ca, is that when Mohawk says you may come in this date, on this date, in this day, we'll have every 3-year-old over there training. I don't think they'll be open for 2-year-olds just yet. We'll likely have the 2-year-olds in the race bike right here at Tamiko Training Center. Maybe we'll have the gate out, maybe we'll have the drone out, and we'll see how everything goes in that regard. Probably, as I said, James isn't going to like it, but it'll probably be sets of 4, which would make for a very long day. So I guess we're no stranger to long days. I got here yesterday at 7:45 and I left at 5:30. So this is the time of year when that happens, and we'll continue to move forward we'll continue to move forward the way we have been over the last 2 weeks. We'll have all our horses ready to go when June 5th card draws. No matter how many horses will be eligible to race, they'll be in to go. And we have some horses to qualify. Stake races will be starting. I suspect, as fluid as things are right now, it will turn into pure chaos when the summer starts. So between me trying to navigate my daily routines, working with Amy and the kids to get us situated wherever that might be, Ontario, Ohio, or wherever, figuring out where I can get raced when, and then where our horses are going to be, will be a chore. That calendar we put together in February means nothing now, so it's going to be a free-for-all. Anyway, I'll be back to you guys throughout the week with more updates. As of right now, I was very happy with Saturday, both the 3-year-olds and the 2-year-olds. A number of the 3-year-olds that did not go trained. A lot of the 2-year-olds that did not go had trained the day before. Some people had asked about Better's Hope. He's a little sick last week. He'll be fine next week. Also, who else? Oh, the other gray horse, First Glance. He trained in 2:18 last half and won 1 apiece in jog cart on Thursday. So Saturday was a bit much. So he just went easy on Saturday. He'll be back. I think we have him. If he's not back to where he was or better, he's well on his way. So happy with Gray as a new red, or as in First Glance, as I said. So that's it. That's the opening. I will be back, as I said, throughout the week. We still got a number of videos to do today, but I'll be back with all the updates I can bring you throughout the week. Talk to you guys soon.